To now deal with the question of what has Obi done in the public space to change Nigerian politics, let me put it this way. Obi is the first Nigerian politician to make it clear to the Nigerian people in the last 24 years that they are the most important piece in nation building. Other people have attempted in different ways, but they might have been swallowed up by different reasons or might be obscured by different things. But what happened with Peter Obi was that the man came at the right time. He was the right man, but the time was also ready for him. Time will not allow me to deal with all the reasons why he was the right man, but I'll deal with some of them and then explain how it has affected the political landscape. Peter Obi comes from the disadvantaged, institutionally disadvantaged. Those the Nigerian state have used as the proving ground for his many evils against the people of Nigeria. Those are the people from whom Peter Obi came, the Igbos. The Igbo people of Nigeria have been the proving ground for every one of Nigeria's evils until they have experimented and completed his usage against the Igbos, normalized it by using the hatred of other nationalities against the Igbos to normalize that evil, and then begin to extend the same evil beyond the ethnic line into class line, because it was always about class. It was never about ethnicity. But it was hidden behind ethnicity because it found acceptance in a larger pool of humanity. So, a member of the institutionally disadvantaged rose as a champion of all, because every Nigerian have become marginalized and disadvantaged by Nigeria. So, his candidacy found resonance in those we had earlier referred to as the North, as though they do not exist as humanity. The people of Kaduna, Southern Kaduna, the Bauchi people who had long been silenced and who had lost their voices. The people of Borno, vast parts of Borno, parts of the Plateau, Nasarawa, Taraba, Benue, places that were once blithely referred to as though they had no, they didn't have identity. And then it came at a time when the hubris of the Nigerian ruining crash had led it to believe that the politicization of religion had been matured to the point where they could blithely declare that Muslim ticket is the way to go. They aroused the passions of those for whom religion was a matter of ethnic identity, the northern Muslims. Religion is not just religion for the northern Muslim because it is rooted in their history. Those who used to be the slave stock of the Fulani conquerors of northern Nigeria, who were not governed but left alone so that they might not become impossible to enslave. Because in Islamic jurisprudence, if you conquer a people, you Islamize them. If you Islamize them, you cannot enslave them. The Fulanis ignored to conquer, built garrisons around vast part of what you call Middle Belt today, and used those garrisons as raiding points for slaves, which fed the empire that arose after the jihad. And that also fed the Kanem Borno Empire itself, even though it predated the jihad. Slave trading went to a new level and it became systemized. Up till today, the records for slave trading in the Kano Emirate. Sanusi himself said so. Records dating back like 200. So let's be clear about something. What Peter Obi did was that he came at the right time. He came at a moment in time when the hubris of the Islamists had exposed them and made it possible for those who had lost their voices to find their voice. So Peter Obi, by divine orchestration, became the champion of the victimized Nigerians, those whose voices had hitherto been lost. So a coalition of Nigerians disadvantaged, Nigerians oppressed, the hopeless, a motley crew of those Nigeria had forgotten, came together and rallied around his candidacy. And to make matters even more interesting, the man is himself an uncommon politician, because how many Nigerian politicians can come out into the open and say that, probe me, you find one thing? Propaganda that anybody might throw around. How come nobody has managed to trace one of those cobbles into his pocket? So, I'm not a saint. I don't expect to find a saint on this part of life. Maybe by the time we've translated, I'm no saint. I do a lot of things I shouldn't be doing, but I don't steal anybody's money. I don't know what else Peter Obi does or does not do. I don't know who he is in his personal space. But the man has proven in his public space that he can be trusted. And Nigerians saw that and gravitated towards it. You cannot say the same for any other member of the Nigerian ruling class. His enemies succeeded him in office as governor. His enemies. He even enthroned one himself with his own hand, Willie the Drunk. What has happened? How many of them have brought out anything to stick on him, like stealing? How many? Let me tell you why Lagos became as desperate as it became on March 18th. The level of stealing and malfeasance that has become institutionalized in Lagos State for the last 24 years. If another government should take over power in Lagos State, many people will go to prison. They will rot in jail. Peter Obi spent 8 years in office as governor. He has been succeeded in office by 2 governors, none of whom have any reason, political or personal, to cover him. Nobody has come out. So let people shut up already about any silly agitations or lies about he did this, he did that. I'm sure he's not a saint, and I'm not his pastor, and I'm not looking to crown a pope. It's not my business. What he has done is that he has awakened the people. The genie is out of the bottle already. The Nigerian people have come to understand the powers they have. If the Nigerian state would have to go to the extent that it had to go to install this fraudulent gate in office, the people know their power already. So if that is all that Peter Obi has done, and before election I told someone, Peter Obi is like the stick, the rod that you use to kill a snake. Whether the rod survives the ordeal or not does not concern you. The purpose of the rod is the destruction and death of the snake. Peter Obi has surpassed and exceeded his purpose already. He has awakened the people. I now know the power that they have. What we do with where we are going forward is on us. There are no Voltrons anywhere. He has served his purpose and he's still serving his purpose by remaining steadfast in the cause of this pursuit of justice. I'm sure they would have offered him 1,001 incentives to abandon this, and I'm aware they did. And the man has stood steadfast. Let me quote him in one of his retorts to one of the bunches of miscreants who have been seeking to press him into stopping. Over my dead body. So please, there are several of us who have resolved that madness in Nigeria will only be normalized over our dead bodies. We will carry no guns, we will throw no stones, but we refuse to normalize evil, and we will not keep quiet. Say death, we died before we were battered. If we didn't die in the womb, we will never be battered. A day will come when we have to be battered to the next stage. That's what you call death. If it comes, let it come when it comes. But let it be said that we died for truth. That is where that man is standing today, and that's where a lot of us are standing. So those who are in doubt of where they are standing and who think that they can buy their way into the books of history, let them have a rethink.